Hello, my name is Suad, and this is part 2 of the story of my life as a stepdaughter of the founder of the largest Mexican crime families in the United States, who are now considered by the United States government to have ties to terrorism. This is a personal part 2. The following is a brief account of my life, of my time in Managua, Nicaragua, as a university student. I studied to be an architect. I also met my future husband. First, living in Nicaragua, it's very hard if you do not have the money. I received many thousands of dollars from my stepfather, Manuel Leija Sanchez, from the United States every month to invest. I spoke with either Manuel or my bodyguard Gradsky every week. This money was sent to me many different ways: Western Union, cashier's checks, money orders, or cash between the pages of magazines. The money was sent to me instead of my mother's because she has a bad drinking problem. This money was used to invest in clothing stores and taxi cabs. The taxis make a lot of money. This also paid for my university and my sister's school and expenses. In my late teens, I did what other girls my age did that could afford it. A lot of clubs, discos, and shopping. In Latin America, clubs do not check for age limits. I prefer to go to clubs and restaurants where foreigners and Americans went. In Central America, American men any age are treated like rock stars by the girls, as my husband would say. My life changed when I met my husband in a bar of a popular restaurant in Managua in 2004. As I found out later, he had been tracking me, and I would see him in different clubs and restaurants around Managua. He seemed to know everyone, and on the face of it, he was a businessman in Central America. As I found out later, he was an intelligence agent, and was, as they say in his world, dangling himself in front of me. This was a long-term operation. His objective was to get into my family through me, and use the family's nationwide counterfeit document computer database to track terrorists. He had no other interest. As I found out later, different units did different jobs. He had no interest in drug shipments or anything else. He just made notes. Even when he knew the complete operation, these people do not share their intel or their human assets with any other groups. As he would tell me, we are not enforcement. We gather and work intel. He dated a lot of young women while he was with me and tried to keep our relationship from getting too strong. He told me later that in the end he knew how this would end, but I had a different plan for us, and I told him that he would not get rid of me that easily. And I knew my competition. I knew him also, and knew that those girls would not last. There is, of course, a lot more to this, but in the end we married. I started living a fun life. My life started to change after he took a trip to the US and returned to attend my sister's sweet 15th party. Members of my family came from Mexico City to attend, including my grandfather and my grandmother. During the party, he told my grandfather that he would come visit him to Mexico City. Soon after that, he told me that he was going to open a business in Guadalajara, Mexico. I found out later he was going to do background on the Castorena side of the organization. He was going to try to move into both sides. His trip fell while he was there, as he became extremely ill and returned to me in Managua instead of seeking medical help in the US. I knew at that time that he was committed to me. It took a month to recover, and as he did, he put together a new plan, which was we moved to Mexico City to be closer to my family. He had also gotten into the leftist presidential candidate's campaign organization and doing things with that until November 2005, when I received a call from my aunt, my grandfather, and my mother that my stepfather was arrested in Chicago. When I hung up, I told my husband. He smiled and then told me who he was and what he was doing. I was surprised, but I did not change my feelings. Thank you. This is 2 part of a 5-part series.